Smashing things is probably one of the first technologies that humans created. So let's stick with our hammer example. When you think of a hammer, what do you think of a hammer doing? Do you think of it hitting a nail? Do you think of it joining two pieces of wood? Do you think of it making metal armor? Well, a hammer can be used towards different goals. Maybe it was invented just to crack open coconuts. But a hammer has changed over time. Why? Well, because the technology is useful. Hitting something really hard is a very useful technology. It goes from creating a food source out of something that you couldn't otherwise access, or reshaping other materials, or just driving a nail into a piece of wood. A hammer has been changed because it's been repurposed. Now, a hammer is super simple. It's just something that smashes other things. So of course it has a broad array of applications. The point is, hammers are good at many different things, so it's been repurposed a lot towards different goals. Other technologies can be repurposed too towards new goals. Maybe it's the material. Say we had that wood hammer and we discover that a metal hammer is better for smashing things. Well, we might find that that metal is also good for other uses. Originally, I think nails were made out of wood. Well, nails became made out of metal eventually too. The metallurgy that was researched to make a metal hammer is the same metallurgy that would be used to make metal nails. So that technology is being repurposed because what you are making with a different material is something brand new and used towards a different goal. The swinging of a hammer is probably similar to the swinging of a pickaxe, the swinging of many different things. So the skill of swinging can be repurposed. Think of more contemporary technologies, like a computer. Well, computers are useful because they're general purpose. They can be used towards so many different things. Our programming languages are, in most cases, general purpose. Those are the ones they teach you first in college because you can use them towards a whole bunch of different applications. Some technologies, the whole point is to be used towards different purposes. Painting. Whenever you make a painting, it's supposed to be original in some way. The goal is always different. You're always repurposing the same technologies, a certain type of paint, and your paintbrushes, how you use a stroke, and how you dot certain things to make a beautiful landscape in one case, or a portrait in another case. You might find it's good to have a certain skill set that you can use towards many different areas, and a skill set that you don't repurpose, and you just have refined to one specific use area. That's a good point I hadn't thought of. Refining a technology is something we should talk about later. And also with this idea of learning to change technology to also know when you don't want it to change. What about tools that aren't very good at being repurposed? That's something to consider too. What tools and techniques are there that are only useful for one specific instance, whether that's on purpose or not? Say, some proprietary technology. You might find that there are technologies out there that are only used in one specific rare instance. Not many people are going to learn that then. That's a niche skill set. Or you might find that there's a specialized tool that's used in just one specific instance, but there's other general tools that can get the job done. Now, if you are trying to be economical, you might not invest in that one specific specialized tool because you could just repurpose some other more general tool. If we combine the ideas of a repurposable tech and an improved tech, maybe the metric that you're trying to improve a technology towards is to make it as broadly repurposable as possible. Making a technology repurposable? Okay, now we're just going to confuse ourselves. Let's leave it at that, because when you try to start repurposing things, well, who knows where you're going to end up.